Hi everyone, and welcome to the Anxiety Guy YouTube channel. I'm Dennis Simsek and this is Robyn, my fiance, and we did a couple videos before. If you're following the Anxiety Guy podcast on iTunes, thank you so much for being a subscriber. And we talked a little bit on nutrition and how nutrition plays a part in with anxiety. As well, we talked a little bit about how to be a good support team. So check out that video on the Anxiety Guy podcast section on this channel, and it will do wonders for you. So welcome, Robyn.
Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. And a lot of people have been I've got a lot of emails with people saying, you know what, oh, Robyn's so cute and Robyn's this and Robyn's that. So we're glad to have you. Today we're actually answering a very important question from someone. Adam wrote, and Adam said, Dennis, I love your videos. I just started your program. Curious about why I feel fear and anxiety around the same person or the same place I visit. So if you feel like you're constantly reacting a certain way to a certain person or social gatherings or a certain situation that comes up in your life or event, we're kind of diving into that area today and talking a little bit about conditioning and learning theories is what we call it in CBT. And hopefully we can get a little bit of Robyn's input on it, and we haven't really rehearsed much of it, but I wanted to get a point of view of somebody else other than myself. You guys listen to me every week, so we're diving into behavioral theories, which is actually based on the work of Ivan Pavlov and his experiences and his experiments with dogs. So if you're interested in this sort of stuff, guys, head over to Google and just Google Ivan Pavlov, and you will find out a lot about these learning theories and why we do the things we do and such. So classical conditioning is the first one, and we're going to talk about all three. Classical conditioning is basically, let's take for instance a dog that begins to associate a bell with food. So whenever the dog hears a bell, he's had a few experiences with this, and every time he hears the bell, in the first couple of experiences he had food, the owner bring him food, so every time he hears this bell it reminds him of food, right? And I don't know if Robyn has any instances where she had that connection. I know, like in my own time when I was a kid, and I went to a doctor and basically got an injection, got a needle, and every single time after that, without really consciously being aware of it, I associated doctors with pain. So even when I heard the word doctor or I saw a doctor in his outfit, I would automatically associate pain to the doctor because of that one injection or that one needle. Is there any instances with you?
Yeah, I mean, non-health wise, but something that, I maybe became conditioned to was when I was younger. If a balloon would pop, my mom would freak out and couldn't be around balloons anymore. And then it was kind of strange because I naturally adapted, and that happened to me as well. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until just recently that I thought, wait, this isn't you actually scared of a balloon. This is like the conditioning that you've grown up with.
Exactly. And that's a great example that Robyn shares there, because when we're talking about these three types of learning theories, basically what we want to do today is just basically notice, just be aware that they're happening and why they're happening, right? So just simply being aware of these three are going to go a long way towards reconditioning yourself, guys. So classical conditioning, we gave you a couple examples there, is one way that you may be experiencing fear and a lot of worry in your life, or certain situations you feel like your heart rate is going off the wall, or your blood pressure is excelling. So that's just one learning theory. The second one is called operant conditioning. And what operant conditioning is basically a behavior that is either learned or modified depending on the type of feedback the person gets. So if, let's say, Robyn used to bowl a lot, she used to go bowling all the time, and let's say mom always, gave her negative feedback, punishing feedback. Oh, you can do better. Oh, that wasn't good enough. It's gonna make Robyn feel like she doesn't want to go bowling anymore, right? Or if there was that rewarding feedback, it would be a totally different story. As she grows up and as she goes into adulthood, she's gonna go, you know what? I love bowling because when I was a child and I was starting with the building blocks of my identity, I really, associated bowling to something that's good, right? So operant conditioning is something that you can be aware of in your life, and I don't know if you have any other examples other than that, but it's basically just feedback. It's either rewarding or punishing feedback that you get, and so you associate something to either pain or pleasure, right? Either being pleasurable or painful.
Yeah, you start to notice that, I feel, a bit more once you have kids too, and you notice how they react depending on how you react, and kind of
Sorry. Yeah.
Like we see a lot of differences in Hyatt if we can go about it one way or the other way, and each way he comes out like differently. I don't know how to explain it.
Totally. Like it's huge because when we raise our kids, we're basically in operant conditioning mode, right? We either we give them this kind of feedback or that kind of feedback, and it's so powerful. They're such sponges that as they grow up, they're gonna, their beliefs are basically becoming our beliefs. Our beliefs are becoming their beliefs. So it's powerful, operant conditioning. And take a look at it in your life, guys. If operant conditioning has played a part as far as what you fear and what you're worried about and what you don't want to do and what you run away from in your own life. Does that make sense? Sort of?
Yeah, it really
Good.
does.
The third learning theory, and we're answering this question today, is called social learning. And this is the last one that we can be aware of and start to observe in our lives. And it's basically observing and modeling someone else's behavior in your life. So it's basically just modeling. And in NLP, we talk about modeling a lot, but there's good modeling and there's bad modeling, right? And we kind of do it unconsciously. I don't know if I did a lot with my dad unconsciously, and unfortunately for me it was very negative because he was quite a pessimistic person. He saw the bad in everything, he rarely saw the good. I got a lot of bad verbal feedback from him. I became a perfectionist and I was never perfect at anything. So social learning is huge, and take a look in your own life if you have followed somebody unconsciously and taken over their behavioral patterns, their thought patterns, their emotions, their beliefs, right? And are they truly yours, and are they truly coming from you, or have you followed somebody, right? Do you have any examples of that in your life? Social learning?
Something that I always like to do now for the present time for social learning is I always keep reminding myself the people you surround yourself with are kind of like what you know are going to become. So I always kind of think like stay away from like negative talk, like kind of distance yourself from those kind of people.
Right.
Surround yourself with the right kind of. Once you get in tune with that, and you kind of. You can be with people who lift you up or who bring you down a bit.
Well, we do it so unconsciously, right? Like, we basically, I forgot the sentence or the quote was like, you become the top 5 people that you hang out with the most, right? And a lot of times we don't even recognize some of the patterns we're overtaking from somebody else, right? But that's another way, guys. That's another learning theory. I hope we've answered the very important question that I got today from Adam. As far as why he feels this fear or worry in certain situations or around certain people, and classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and social learning. It's all a part of CBT. Head over to anxietyexit.com if you want to start the program, the End the Anxiety program that is specific for health anxiety sufferers. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and we'll be making these once a week, or I'll be making them. And if you enjoyed Robyn's feedback, send an email to me through anxietyexit.com, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day, and remember, you're more than anxiety. Have a wonderful day.